Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from Miniart. It's so-called US soldiers with WLA motorcycles. So the kit number is written there, it's 35422, and what we have here, it's the part of the World War II military miniature series, so it will be quite interesting to check those soldiers together with the motorcycles. And of course, what you see here in this video is the final shape of this release, so you will get exactly the same stuff if you order it from any good model shop, for example from Modelimex. And first thing is that the box size is surprisingly big for just figurines. Here you can see comparison with my hand. We have quite nice box art here. On the side you will find also some information about the manufacturer, some safety devices and QR code with a barcode. And on the opposite side you can see also 4 marking options for these motorcycles, and of course this small sign of the cartograph, because decals are printed in cartograph, so it's I would say a sign of quality. And as we saw in the previous releases from Miniart, it was really good printing quality out of the box. So this is a top opening package, and here is what we have inside. I do not remember if I checked the motorcycles from Miniart, so it will be quite interesting to take a closer look. As you can see, these are similar motorcycles because the sprues are the same, so that's why we will be checking the figurine parts and only one sprue of the motorcycle kit. So I just need to cut through this plastic bag, because as usual for Miniart the plastic bag is sealed, so I need scissors in order to go through it. And then we will talk about what is actually molded here. But in the meantime, I can also suggest you to check the other video reviews on this YouTube channel, because I'm checking all of the recent novelties from various brands, including Miniart, so you will definitely find out something interesting about those kits. And of course, I hope that those videos will help you to make a decision whether you would like to get one for your collection. So first I'm opening another plastic bag, because here we have the clear frames packed together with decals. So regarding the clear frames, it's quite interesting packaging, because these two frames were packed together. And I'm just worried that these parts might get scratched, but as you can see, the molding quality is really good. And traditionally for Miniart, we will not get any masks included, so in case you would like to get the nice paintwork, you will have to cut on stickers and apply them on those clear parts. But overall, these parts look like real glass, so I would say it's a standard quality for Miniart. There is one more thing which is coming from cartograph. Of course, these are decal sheets, and as you can see, we have really good printing quality. The size is really tiny here in comparison with my fingertip, so just so that you understand that some of these decals will require the application with the tweezers, because otherwise it's nearly impossible to get them into the right spot. Then we continue with PE parts. So yes, I know some modders will not be happy to hear this, but this is something what you cannot avoid here. And I will explain in a second why. So we have 2 PE threads, because both motorcycles will be using the PE parts, and as you can see here we have the parts for the wheels. So basically the wheel spokes, we have various control elements and also various structure elements. So all of this stuff is a must-have on the on your motorbike, let's say. So you have to install this, and that's why I will recommend to get the sharp tweezers and also the PE bender, because otherwise it's a bit tricky thing to get into the right spot. Okay. Next, we continue with the first figurine part. So here we have the soldier in seated position. As you can see, the parts division is typical for this scale, so you won't get any unusual surprises here, and I would say it's actually a good thing. But of course, there are no guiding elements as well, so if I flip over, you can see that there are no guiding pins or guiding tabs. But at least we have the clever parts division. It means that the head, for example, is molded without the helmet, so it will be easier to paint these things. And of course, it's a good idea to get the smooth connection between these parts, I mean between the body and the hands, for example, so that you get a bit more convincing appearance. Here we have another soldier in a slightly different position, so again pretty much the same parts division or parts design if you prefer. And if I flip it over here, you can check also the facial features of this soldier. All of the accessories are molded separately, so it's also a good thing for those who try to achieve a bit more convincing appearance on their soldier. And next we have the motorcycle sprue. So as I said, there are two identical frames, so that's why we will check on the one here. You can see the first thing is that we do not have any rubber wheels. We have the plastic wheels, which is really good because I think in 135 scale you can get way more convincing appearance with the plastic parts for the wheels. So that's why I like this design. And here we can also see some of the parts for the motorcycle itself. For example, here you can see the seat, also a lot of small parts here and there. So be ready to work with such stuff, and I would recommend to get a proper working place because it's easy to lose this to the carpet monster, of course. Here we have the saddlebags, we have also the steering bar, and also these ones, I guess this should be the, yeah, these are the shaping parts for the P parts so that you can get the spokes in the right angle. Here we continue also with the parts for the engine, and then we start also with the main frame. So as you can see here, the frame will be assembled out of several sections, but overall whole design is quite understandable, so I don't think you will have any issues here. And next we have also, well, yes, the fuel tank is separated into two halves, and you will have to work on joining them in a smooth, I would say, nature, so that they will look more or less convincing, because otherwise it might be a very noticeable thing which was not present on the real motorcycles, because on real motorcycles you get a really smooth fuel tank, obviously. And here on the opposite side you can see the parts from the other side. So we have the guiding pins on the wheels, we also have the guiding pins on the chassis bar, and also on the steering bar as well. So it's quite well thought design, so I don't think you'll have any issues here. I'm just trying to check it closer now when I took it off the table, and it looks like that even the thickness of the parts is up to scale, because some of them are almost translucent, but of course it's also has its own effect on the rigidity of this part, so keep it in mind when you will be working with all of these things. Next we have the assembly manual. So here we have the small cover printed brochure, we have short list of the features on the cover. Next we have the assembly manual, so parts map. Assembly process starts from shaping those P parts, and you also shaping the P parts for the chassis as far as I can understand. So next you assemble the wheels together, and you start working on the engine and main chassis. So here it's worth thinking how to paint all of this stuff, because some of the items will be really difficult to reach later, and maybe some of the parts will be even painted with a hand brush, because otherwise it might be tricky to mask all of the things. Next we continue with the chain drive. Also here you can see the controls being installed. Then we continue with exhaust. The steps on both sides, fuel tank gets assembled here. Then we have the front elements being installed in place, and then we continue with the front fork. Here we also have some parts for the saddlebags and also the windscreen as well. So here you can see the marking guide, which is pretty much similar to what we saw on the box art. And here we have also the marking options for the motorcycle. These are green motorcycles, but I think it's not difficult to find something different if you check some reference material, or at least to play with the color modulation on this, and weathering, of course. So as for the whole kit, it should be already available, and you can get it in Modelimex webshop. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion, so do not forget to write it here in the comment section below. And I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.